Hello students, welcome to the class and I congratulate you for having decided to take zoology in your TYBSc. During this orientation course, you will be learning basic of the topics that you will be studying in TYBSc zoology. This will help you in better understanding when you learn each of the topic in depth. In my unit of taxonomy, you are looking for the definition, history, and why to study taxonomy. Some further details I'll take into the another video. Now the question comes, why to study the taxonomy or why to classify the animals. Suppose there is a pile of sticks of which all the sticks are important but they are multicolored. They are not of same time and it is same type and they cannot be separated. It is not possible to separate and store them separately. Now I want a red stick of them. Now you can see that there are some longer sticks, some shorter sticks, some are of red color, purple color, blue color. Now I want a particular stick which has a red color. When I say red, then again the red of which length, which thickness, such question comes. So suppose if I give name X to a red stick which is 5 centimeter longer and 0.5 millimeter in the thickness, and if I say you give me X sticks, so on the midst of all these sticks you will be able to pick up the X immediately. Exactly the same thing happens in the living world. In the living world, can you read the figure? This is 8.7 million species. So in this world, 8.7 million species are living. Now, if you decide to describe them or if you want to describe them, you need to give them name, and that is the taxonomy. If the names are given randomly, then it becomes difficult to understand what it will look like exactly or what it is similar to. So if you follow a certain criteria to categorize them and to know them, it will be easier. And taxonomy does the same thing. It divides the whole living world in the terms of some categories. As we said in the previous example, red color, thickness, length are the categories. Whereas in the living world, kingdom, group, phylum, class, order, genus, species are the categories. How it came? Now we are going to the history of the taxonomy. The whole living world was earlier categorized into two main groups, that is the organisms with blood and organisms without blood, and again in them the organisms that live in water and the one which live on the land. And this job or this thought was first incorporated by the great scientist Aristotle, who is known as the father of biology. Also he is known as the father of zoology. So he was the first to take effort to categorize the living organisms. Then the Theophrastus. What Theophrastus did, he divided the plant kingdom into four types. He is known as the father of ancient taxonomy of the botany, and the work in the taxonomy was done in more detail on plants than in the animals. But then Theophrastus was the one who worked for the plants, dividing them into four categories like herbs, shrubs, trees, and undershrubs. He was the one who found the difference in the plants as a dicotyledon and monocotyledon. Coming further, he is John Ray, and who divided the plants as a cryptograms, monocotyledon and dicotyledon. In the history, what happened further? Now, the John Ray. John Ray, I go back. Okay. So, continuing to the history, as I said, he was the one who divided them into three categories. and he also gave the Latin names. Now, the names he had given, actually the concept was good, so that if all the plants, animals are known by Latin names, and if it is made uniform in any corner of the world, it will be easier to add the organism. And so he gave the Latin name. But while giving the Latin name, he also thought of giving in such a way that the name describes the species or describes the plant or the animal. And so he went on adding the terms, Latin terms, to name the any plant or animal. Suppose now if you want to describe the insect, so in the name that he had given, it would the name would be saying that it is small, it has three distinct parts like head, thorax, and abdominal region. It has three pairs of legs. Though the single word for each, but it was which made it lengthier. So which because of this, which we cannot continue with the system that was proposed by him. Coming further is now the hierarchical classification system, where the whole world of organism was classified into different categories like kingdom, class, order, genera, and species. And binomial nomenclature were used, where again the Latin names, but then there were two terms used to name any of the plant or animal species, or even to the microorganism, which made the classification easier, or taxonomy easier and universal. And this great work was done by the father of taxonomy, and he is nothing but the Carolus Linnaeus. Coming ahead is now the three kingdom system, which was proposed by Ernst Haeckel, and the whole world he divided into three kingdom, that is Protista, Plantae, and Animalia. Protist are the unicellular organisms, plant are the one which make their own food, and animals which feed on the other. Simple criteria he has used and divided the whole organisms into three kingdom. But later on, the another scientist, that is Robert Whittaker, he divided the whole organism into five kingdoms. And these five kingdoms were Monera, Protista, Plantae, Fungi, Animalia. Each term describes the characteristic under which thousands of organisms come. When we say Monera, these are the single cell but eukaryotic organisms like bacteria. Protista, these are Monera are the prokaryotic organisms like bacteria. Protista are the eukaryotic organism. Now, what is prokaryote, eukaryote? We'll study somewhere else. But protists are the eukaryotic organisms, but still they are single cell. Plantae are the one which can synthesize their own food. Fungi, which are detrivorous or which feed on dead and decomposing material, and animal, which feed on other organisms. So see, there is a difference between the fungi and animalia. Okay, fungi, they are actually saprophytic. They feed on decomposing material, and animalia, they feed on the organism, not decomposing. Okay, further. Now, what is the basis of the classification? First basis of the classification, how complex the cell is. And so I said prokaryotic cell, eukaryotic cell. So the complexity of the cell here increases. The whole kingdom can be classified as a prokaryote and eukaryote. Another criteria is the complexity of organism. How complex the organism is. Actually, in the five kingdom system also, if you consider only five categories, right from Monera to Animalia, you will find that the hierarchy is there based on the complexity of the organism, since as we move further, the complexity goes on increasing. Another basis is nutrition. So when we are saying plantae, fungi, actually I should say fungi first. That is the best way to put it in a hierarchy: fungi, plantae, and animalia. So fungi are saprophytic, they cannot prepare their food but feed on decomposing. Plantae feed their by their own, and animal feed on other organisms. So mode of nutrition again becomes the basis of classification. Reproductive organ. So how do they reproduce? In the kingdom Animalia, while classification, this aspect is important. How do they reproduce? So whether they are oviparous, viviparous, and so on. So that is also the basis of classification. And many other morphological features also make the basis of classification. As we go in the hierarchy to the order level, to the family, to the genera, to the species, their morphological characters also matter. Say for example, when we say birds, then it is the organism with typical features. When I say fish, it is the organism with some typical features. So morphological uh, features are also considered during classification. So there are many criteria for classification. Why to classify? I come back again to the first question. So classification eases the biological communication from any of the world. When you say the name of the organism, or when you say a particular category, you have found some organism which looks like to be similar to particular category, and communicate by that word anywhere, it will be understood. The second is to ease in understanding the diversity. So you can understand how many types of groups are dwelling in a particular area, because based on the characteristic you are able to categorize them, that these are the plants, these are the birds, these are the fishes, these are the insect, and so on. So it helps in making understanding of the diversity easier. It ascertains the number of group of organisms. How many plants are there? How many fungi are there? Okay, so since you know the group, since you have classified, you can ascertain the number of each of this into the a particular system, ecosystem rather I'll say. It gives the idea of the trait, which characteristic it might have. If it is looking like a bird, so since we know many of the features of the bird, okay, you can think of its traits, you can think of its characteristics. It gives you idea about the physical development. So again, in this taxonomy, the animals are organized in a hierarchy. Okay, so when we say that it is amphibia, so you get to know that it is the one which has evolved from fishes. You won't say that these amphibians are evolved from the reptiles. Okay, so once you study the taxonomy, you get an idea about the physical development, and you can decide or plan conservation strategies and sustainable management. Once you study the taxonomy, you also get to know role played by each and every organism, and by now you must have understood that each and every organism has some or other role to play. Now you know taxonomy, you based on which you understand the diversity, and based on the diversity you can decide what is happening to the diversity, whether it is risk or what is its position. Based on this you can decide the conservation strategies and sustainable development. I hope this lecture would have introduced you with the basics of taxonomy, whereby we say that why taxonomy is important. In the next videos, we'll see how the animals are categorized. Thank you.